A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Revere Securities. Revere is committed to building a relationship of trust in which they work closely with you to help you define your objectives, explore alternatives, and choose the financial and investment strategies that are most appropriate for you. Go to reveresecurities.com.
Welcome back, my beautiful friends. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next in our Business and Buzz segment, we are featuring the incredible Donald Suxho, proud husband and dad and two-time Olympian. He participated in the Olympic Games in Athens, Greece, as well as the 2012 Olympic Games in London. He's played in some of the strongest volleyball leagues in the world. Today, he's the Director of Volleyball at IMG Academy. Now, IMG Academy provides a unique approach to academics, athletics, and personal growth that fosters confidence and prepares student athletes for college and beyond. Today, we're chatting the importance of sports in schools, how sports positively affect academics, and why he thinks interest in sports-driven schools and academies is growing. For teenagers with Olympic or NCAA athletic dreams, a growing breed of sports-focused high schools are offering the flexibility to place major emphasis on physical training and practice while continuing to pursue academics. These facilities are often called sports academies, differ substantially, with some offering higher quality academics than others. They include boarding schools that integrate training into the daily routine, day schools that focus on sports, hybrid schools that blend physical and digital education, and even online-only platforms. At the same time, education experts say the space is expanding. In the last year, they've seen explosive growth in families looking for a non-traditional education option for their student athletes. Last year, IMG Academy, which is a sports boarding school in Bradenton, Florida, welcomed its largest fall enrollment in the school's 40-year history. And over the decades, the Academy has developed an integrated approach to academics, athletics, and performance. Welcoming now to the show is Director of Volleyball at IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida, and two-time Olympian Donald Suxho. Welcome to the show, superstar.
Thank you, Zen. Thank you. Glad to be here. I appreciate the time.
Absolutely. So let's start with you quickly. You grew up in a small town in Albania, who actually many people didn't know. Only after the communist regime fell down back in 91, Albania was really put on the map. Your father was a volleyball coach himself. He dedicated his life to Albanian volleyball and coaching the Albanian national team for over 20 years. How has volleyball shaped you, Donald?
Well, thank you, Jen. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in small town, Korça, Albania, East. We were in communism for many years. Didn't know anything about the world, and in the 90s, as many people know, the whole Eastern Bloc fell down. So we went from communism to what I call chaosism, where those wars, where gangs, where mafia, where truly I had to go to war. I mean, I had to go to practice as a 15-year-old kid with knife, just because I was afraid who's going to come behind me. And sports from young age kept me sane, kept me in the line, in the lane and in the line, right? I mean, not only I was healthy, I was confident as a young kid, but also I was very busy, with school and sports, a lot of trainings, and the ability to just not waste time and being alone on the street and being, with the teammates and, traveling, playing games, creating some really good positive relationships, kept me out of trouble, and then gave me ultimately an opportunity to come to America, to move to Boston, where, again, I was, as a young immigrant, a 17-year-old kid, I was trying to, to fit into the American culture, American lifestyle, working about, 5,000 jobs a day. But then sports, they kind of kept my mind sharp, kept my body healthy, and kept me going through those, kind of tough days in communism, in chaos, as well as a young immigrant here in US. And
it helped shape you for sure. In fact, a recent study from the University of Kansas indicated that high school athletes were 10% more likely to graduate than their peers who had never participated in sports. And athletes were also shown to have higher grade point averages than non-athletes. And lastly, interestingly enough, another study from the Institute of Medicine showed that kids who are very active typically perform better on standardized tests. What do you say to this? And why do you think there is a growing demand, not just across America, but worldwide for these sports academies?
For the sport, it's a pure reason that is, first of all, it's structured and it's disciplined, it's a controlled environment. Many families and kids, people who are not involved in sports or, athletics, they don't know what to do, right? I mean, it's like the motivation thing, January 1st, you go to the gym, I'm going to lose weight, but then a month later, you stop working out, right? When you go to the sports academies, it's a very structured way. You know when you're getting yourself into it. You have coaches, you have teammates, you have peers. So every day is programmed. All you have to do is show up. And then as we know better, you do something small every day, you get better, you get stronger, you get faster. Then it becomes a positive habit. And then, a few months later, the next thing you know, you wake up at 6 a.m., you start running sprints and you are healthy, you go to class, you're confident, you're smiling, you're making friends. And it becomes a life-changing event, So that's why I think it's kind of that structure, control, expertise and authority that helps shape these young men and women,
You are 100% right. You're 100% right, because playing sports increases cognitive ability. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain and activates our endorphins, which can improve mood and work performance. And sports teaches kids better time management. I believe that as a mom wholeheartedly. Playing sports has taught my daughter the importance of character. She plays tons of sports and she's barely 7 years old. And it really has led her to be more decisive. And participation in sports also builds that teamwork, like you said, and a sense of community, and being part of a team boosts not only just a child's self-confidence, but it gives everybody a gratifying sense of belonging. Let's chat IMG and sports academies. As the director of volleyball of the volleyball division, what is the biggest challenge facing parents and students when looking for sports academies, in your opinion?
I think, the biggest challenge is that as we are so interconnected with internet and social media, I think there's a lot of what we call, not transparent news or services being, put to these parents, and they get bombarded every day, by private academies or private coaches, or, saying like, hey, if you come here, we can, take your daughter or your son to the next level. Or they overpromise, underdeliver. I think that's the biggest thing for many parents and kids. They don't know who to trust anymore, right? And at IMG Academy, what we have experience, we have data, we have results, for over 40 years. So when we talk to the parents, they're very certain that when they come here, is what they see, is what they hear, is what they will get, 100%. There's no, two academies, and I've heard a lot of horror stories where parents I've moved from Brazil to Orlando or to different parts of the US to these private academies, and to just find out that there's only one volleyball team, or there's only one sport, or there's so there's a lot of what we call fake news out there, so we try to be as transparent as forthcoming with our parents and kids to make sure that, it's what we say, it's what we do.
Yeah, exactly. And do you believe that it's realistic for a student who's very good, very athletic, very driven, shows decent promise, and wants to go pro to pursue this path? And how do they go on to make it to pro levels, so to speak? And what kind of dent does this put in one's bank account?
Yeah, that's a great question. At IMG Academy here, our goal is to empower, inspire, and impact the next student athlete, the next best human being in life. Right? We know that sports is a minor fracture of your life. So, we know that there might be injuries, there might be a lot of obstacles up the road. But what we do here is we prepare kind of a holistic approach of preparing these young kids, right, for life, for sports, and then for their friendship, So when they come here, it's a very structured environment, aside from having great school, a great program, facilities, kind of technology to make them best student athletes. But what we invest a lot is a lot of leadership skills, a lot of nutrition skills.
And who is eligible?
What? Excuse me?
Who is eligible? I mean, we
have, from age 12 to 19, kids can come here and again, go through our program and really kind of, take advantage of our services. As I mentioned, leadership, mental health. We have, yoga, we have nutrition coaches. So kind of a total human being. So when they go to college and when they go later in life,
ready.
They're prepared. I mean,
You have a 600-acre campus. IMG has more than 1,200 student athletes, like you said, in grades 6 through 12, and postgraduates from 49 U.S. states and more than 60 countries, which was fascinating to me.
Yep.
And between 2018 and 2020 alone, 44% of IMG students went to a university with NCAA Division I athletics, and 92% overall attended college. So IMG says, and I believe this, that it has produced more NFL players on 2021 kickoff weekend rosters than any other U.S. high school. What do you say to this?
Oh, I say it's what we say is what we do. I mean, I see it firsthand. I see it firsthand, the commitment of the students here, of the staff, of the leadership at IMG and Endeavor. I mean, it's top down, we're in the same page. We care about our client, our kids and the families. We provide top-notch services. And what we preach to our kids is like, all you have to do is show up, put, your effort, hard work, and the rest will come, So, this past year, our baseball team put, I think, few kids in MLB as well. We have NBA players that come out of here. Now I'm excited to get our volleyball program going so they can go to D1 professionally and also, hopefully make the Olympic team, So we have kind of like all the services for the, from a kid who wants to be in a D3 or just play sports, or a kid who wants to be the best in the world,
Well, they have a great director there. You are doing such a good job, and you're also as an Olympian and as an athlete yourself, you have lived and gone down this path that you are preparing these very kids for. So I think it's amazing that they have chosen people at your caliber level to be teaching our children. That's incredible.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's my passion. As I mentioned, my passion is to empower, to impact, and inspire our next student athletes, because I know, as we spoke, how important sports are. I know how important, saying like another important part of sports, as from your daughter, and you'll see it, is build confidence. I think with the COVID, I think, with all these shutdowns, I think with all these obstacles that families and kids, most of them lost confidence. Most of them are having some mental health, health issues, and sports I believe is the only way to get out of it. Is the only way, sports activity, just be healthy, right? Be healthy, be active. It builds, especially at a young age, it builds a confidence. Healthy body, healthy mind, and you can tackle any challenge in the world,
There you go. You said it. Well, we are out of time, and I just wanted to thank you for coming on. It was very enlightening chatting with you. You are full of great information and also fun to talk to.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
You got it. Bye. Yes, definitely check out Donald Suxho, two-time Olympian and volleyball director at IMG Academy. Head to imgacademy.com and check out Donald on the gram at DSUXHO and the number 7. Listen, guys, team sports require communication, both verbal and nonverbal. Developing communication skills are important for maintaining a functioning sports team, and those same skills can help kids succeed academically. Kids who participate in sports are more likely to complete a bachelor's degree program, and what's more, students who held leadership roles on their teams tend to achieve higher degrees and hold leadership positions in their careers. They don't have excessive free time, so kids who play sports are less likely to get involved with drug and alcohol usage or even participate in idle activities. And as a mom, for me, that's a big, big uphand. There's also more, all the children that are involved in sports are also more likely to find positive role models, including older students who can act as mentors, people like Donald, who are incredible coaches and directors, guiding them and helping them into making healthy choices. That was our Business and Buzz segment by Revere Securities. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.